Hello guys, welcome to ADB Tech channel. Today we are going to talk about Spring Boot security. This concept I already discussed and I have uploaded one video earlier, but I just wanted to explain a step by manner to get the proper understanding of Spring Boot security. Okay, so today we will see how to implement basic security, and then we'll move on to JWT token, like a JSON web token, how to implement in Spring Boot, and then we'll move on to what plugin. Okay, so we'll discuss each plugin in one session. Okay, today we will only talk about how Spring Boot basic security will work. Okay, so I'll create a one new Spring Boot project. So let me open my IDE and yeah, create my new project. So I have Spring initializer. So let me click on next, and here we have Spring com.example.group. I'll change this Spring security. Okay, and my artifact ID is Springs basic security demo. Okay, so the version, if you want, you can keep it like this, otherwise you can do 1.0. Okay, so you can see Java versions, so 8 or 11 you can use it. So I'll go with 11, no issues. So that's your wish. Okay, whatever you want, you can do with that. So let me change my project name. Okay, so this is a demo project, right? Spring basic security demo project for Spring Boot. Okay, and here I can have same package name, otherwise you can remove this Spring security. So if you want, you can add demo as well. Okay, good. So if you click next, so it will ask you to add Spring Boot starter dependencies. So the Spring Boot version edition is 2.66. So I'll go with this option only. You want, you can change it. Okay, and I need Spring starter web because I will create some REST services. So you can add a Spring web starter dependency, and then you can add some security. Okay, let me search here. Okay, we have, you can see, right, Spring LDAP, Spring security, Rakta integration, otherwise both to client and all, right. So we'll look into this later, but at present I'll create with the Spring security basic security configurations. Let me click next. So click finish. Yes, I want to overwrite it because I'll have this. Yeah, my project got Explore opened, and you can see that this is a Maven dependence. If you refresh here, it automatically downloads all the dependencies which you have added in the pom.xml file. So let me open my pom.xml. Yeah, here you can see that I have added Spring Boot starter parent, so the version of the starter parent, and you can see our artifact ID and all. And this is my Java version, and I have security and web starter web, and we have some test related uh, dependencies as well, but I'll at present I'll comment this for time being because I'm not going to use this. Okay, so I have commented. Even we can comment this as well because I don't want this. Okay, so I commented test dependencies. So what I can do for time being, I'll comment this security as well. Okay, so I'll refresh my dependencies. You can see that. So dependencies got refreshed, and let me open the source. Okay, so this is my main class file. Okay, the Spring Boot application is my main class, and in the application properties, I'll add my server port. Okay, So server dot port. So I want to run my server in 8090 port. Okay. So you can add any by default will run 8080. Okay. So this is one thing which I have added, and this is my main Java class. It has a Spring Boot application annotation. So where my application gets started, and then I have one controller, right? So here I created one basic security controller. So this is a REST controller. Okay. So I have one method as well on REST API. Okay. So here if you see this get mapping method will return only string. Okay. Welcome to Spring security demo. So nothing else it will return. Okay. So what I can do, I will start my application. So you can start in multiple ways, but I can start like I will go to main class. Okay. I'll right click and run Spring Boot basic security application. Okay. Okay. This is build output. Not sure. Okay, this is related to test, so I don't want test, right? I commented test dependencies, so I'll delete this file. What I am in, I don't want this test application. Okay, now I'll start again. Yeah, so my application got started in 8090 port. Okay, so let me open this in my browser. So if I go here, local host 8090. So it is showing some no mapping is there, right? So let me add /welcome. So you can see, right, it successfully printed my REST API, right? Welcome to Spring Security Demo. So now, so I'll just enable Spring Security dependency in my pom.xml. Okay. So I have enabled startup security. So I haven't done anything else. Okay. I just refreshed the dependencies, and what I can do, I'll restart my server. So only I just enabled Spring Boot starter security. Then how our API will work, you can see. Okay, my server got started, and let me go here. If I refresh this API, you can see, right? So it's asking username password. So the Spring security by default, enables this security feature. So we should enter now username password, but we haven't configured anything. Only we just enabled Spring, starter security dependency window. So this will take care of by Spring Boot. Okay. So now by default, normal username is like user. You can enter user, but what is the password, right? If you go to your IntelliJ IDE in the console, you can see the password which is generated by Spring Boot, right? You can see, right? This is the password which is generated by Spring Boot security. So you can copy this and try to log in here. I have entered the username is user and password is password, that password which is generated. Now you can see, right? So it is successfully executed here. Welcome to Spring Boot security demo. So this is our Spring by default, it will provide the security. So for example, if you wanted to change your username password, okay, so I can tell you, see, if you hit multiple times, it will work, because it will store that, in the cookies, it will store your JS session ID. So if you invoke multiple times, it will, it won't ask you. It will ask first time only the username password. Okay, so that is one thing you have to take care of it. And if I go here, I don't want to use this password, so you can mention your own password also. Like in the application dot properties, you can use spring dot security dot user name. Okay, you can use user, so user also will work. User dot name is in. Okay, user dot, yeah, name. Cool. So you can use maybe admin, for example. I'm just using admin, and then same spring security user dot password. So it can be anything. You can say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now if I restart my application, see, I have restarted. So you can't see the password which is generated by Spring Security, because we have provided username password in the application.properties. Okay. So now if I go back to that Chrome browser, if I hit this, it is asking again username password, right? Now if I enter user, it won't work. So I need to enter admin and 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see, right, it is working as expected. So this is how the Spring basic authentication will work, security authentication will work. So I can show you one more thing. Okay, how the JSession ID will work. So if I go to Postman, so this is a get method. Okay, in the Postman you can enter the URL, and this is a get mapping. So it's a get only. So now if you see in the parents, nothing is there. Even in the headers you can see. So host, everything is there, right? Okay. So now if I go to authorization, no authorization also. So if I hit this, so you can see 401 unauthorized, because you have to provide the basic auth, right? So now if I go back to the authorization and if I give, so basic auth, the username password we have to provide. So I'll give admin and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the password. If I hit this, now it is printing successfully, right? So it is taking username password. And now if you go to headers, you can see there is a basic authorization is there, and you can see that there is a one JSession ID got created. So if you hit multiple times, it will pass same JSession ID from the cookie. So that is the useful feature. Like you don't need to enter multiple times if once you have logged in first time. Okay. So this is one thing. This JSession ID is maintained by like Spring Security only, but in the cookies it will maintain. Okay. So from browser cookies. This is one thing you have to keep on mind. So this is how we can implement basic Spring Security. Okay. But so even you can use the configuration file as well. So what we can do for that, so we can create one config folder. Okay, let me create one config folder here. Package, you can say demo dot, or you can create inside demo, or you can create outside demo. Let's see, wish config. Okay, yeah. So I created now config. Now I'll create one configuration class. Okay, what we can say, uh, basic Spring Security. Security. Okay, yeah. So this is a configuration class, right? So we should annotate at the rate configuration. Okay, sorry, it's a configurable configuration. Yeah, this is what we need to use it. So this is not required anymore. Okay, cool. So this is at the rate configuration. So here Spring Boot will provide one abstract class which we need to extend. Okay, so there is a class called web security adapter configure we have. One second, let me check. Web, yeah, security. You can see, right, web security configure adapter. Okay, this is what we need to extend. So this class will have one method. Okay, I can show you that as well. Okay, so this is a web security configure adapter class, right? So what methods it has, you can see. You can see, right, configure method, there is authentication manager builder, this we can see later. This also we can, extend. Otherwise, let me check other method. There is another method would be the, with the http, security. So this also the right http security, but it should contain same configure. Okay, let me find out. Yeah, we have one configure method. And, yeah, configure http security. So what you can do, you can directly copy this method, okay, and you can extend here in your basic Spring Security configuration class. Okay. Yeah. So this HTTP security you have, right? So what it is telling, you can see, right, HTTP authorization request. So here your authorization URL, any request authenticated. So that's what you are doing, and form login HTTP basic. So if I do this right, let me. Okay, there is a logger, so we don't have logger, so we'll remove that. Okay, now, so what we can do, we'll restart our application. So now what will happen is, so any request, you can see, right, any request, it will authenticate. Okay, 8090. Now, if I go back to my Chrome browser, so it is asking, admin 1234. Okay, so now also same, it is working as expected, right? Guys, this is about the basic Spring Security example. So we'll look into it more further on this concept. But thanks for watching, guys. Thank you very much. Right. So now let me go here.